Guys, you never stop referencing this goddamn game, so I thought I should check it out. It's because of you. I completely avoided making myself cringe looking at this. I don't really know anything about it, but I heard people talking, so I have a rough estimate. Now, that being said, I will say, the art is kind of reminiscent of Life is Strange, a game that I actually loved back in the day. I played it, like, the first game, and it was good. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. It looked like a millennial slop for me. But you know what? Let's check the IGN review and see what's up. Surely they would not be biased. They wouldn't be biased.
True nostalgia isn't the replication of a specific place or time.
Wait,
but
maybe
of
we have a
feeling.
caption?
It's those
No.
flashes of emotion that transport us back into memories that have long sat dormant. I was born too late to be a teenager in the 90s, and
Okay. Yeah, I see where this is going.
believe it or not, with this accent, I grew up thousands of miles away from the schools of Northern California. I've barely stepped on a skateboard outside of a few scraped knees in the summer of 2003, but none of that matters. A mixtape knows this. Australian developer Beethoven and Dinosaur fills each and every moment of its coming-of-age tale with incredible music, perfectly handpicked to set the tone for its free-flowing chapters in a way only nostalgia can. As original as it is
It's shaping up to be, from the very first minute of the video, to be not only the worst millennial slop I've ever seen in my entire life, but also every single movie cliche from the early 2000s, packed into one video game. How long this game actually is?
reverential, is a masterfully constructed dose of new memories hinged brilliantly on how they remind us of our own.
Oh god. No, this is not going to be a good one, boys. I can tell. I can pitch perfect.
The coming-of-age story is perhaps my favourite framework in all of fiction. That
Oh, wow. Yeah, Asmongold was right. We should outlaw millennials. That's crazy. It's like every single Western millennial that grew up behind a gated society is refusing to grow up for some reason. It's like they all want to relive an experience they never had in their youth, and now they're projecting it upon ourselves. Why would you ever do that? For the love of actual God. Oh my days.
longing for a time I didn't live in and being given a chance to hang out with friends who never knew me are sensations I find myself coming back to.
I didn't have any
This
friends.
is far from the first video game to tackle the concept, of course, but it might just be the first one to have nailed a tonal balance that hits.
Bro, I didn't have room like this. I slept with the same room as my brothers. We're like poor. Like why I'm not feeling represented right now? Look at this ginormous room. Having a closet all to yourself, dog. What? That's crazy. That's insane. Look at all of this space.
Just right for me. I've tried to enjoy the Life is Strange series more than once, but I've just found its dialogue a little too corny for my
I knew it
liking
was
to
very
fully
similar
get
to Life
into.
is Strange.
Mixtape, on the other hand, feels more rooted in how actual people talk, and is all the better for it.
Surely.
Sweet without being saccharine, thoughtful but never forced, and always funny.
There have been noise complaints.
Okay. The story centers on
We should really ban millennials. I'm calling it. We should ban millennials. That's... What the hell was that? I mean, it's so forced. No one would think that humor is funny. Nobody like MCU, cringe humor. What in God's name am I actually watching right now?
Stacey Rockford and her group of friends as
Like,
they
I literally, I became bald for this. For this?
look to make the most of their last day together and reminisce
Ooh,
about past
skateboard.
adventures before she skips town to chase her dreams in New York.
So
You
chill.
aren't given choices here, but experience these fully formed characters' hijinks and heartaches, warts and all, and they feel all the more realistic for it. That's not to say their recollection of these adventures isn't laced with flights of fantasy though, as they've clearly been embellished in Rockford's mind, allowing each to be presented with lashings of style as if they were playable music videos. There's a great sense of spectacle later on that I wouldn't dare spoil, but
I mean,
I'm gonna show you a couple of
what is the obsession of millennials with music? I swear to God, it's like Arcane Season 2. It's their... why are they basing their entire personality off of, I really love music, man. Like, yeah, homie. People loved music like 2,000 decades ago. Like, nobody cares. Like, we get that. People love music. It's ingrained inside of our souls. You don't have to make it your entire personality. Otherwise, you just seem like a one-dimensional loser. Why would you make it your entire thing?
Little clips here of
Like,
the sort of thing you'd be getting up to
rock
early,
out,
including,
dude!
like a trippy softball session and a police raid of a house party.
And the funniest thing is that I more than likely listen to the same stuff they listen to, because all I listen to is like old music from the early 2000s, because that was the greatest time, and now I don't hear today's slop because it's all the same rehashed garbage. But back in the day, like, rock music was insane and pop music was insane. Rap was crazy good. Rap today is still like really good, to be honest. I still listen to new rap. Obviously not like the mumble stuff, but you know, for the most part, back in the day, you had some really insane music, and of course I listen to it like to this day, but I don't make it my entire personality. It's just weird.
See that you escape by hurtling downhill in a shopping cart, and these are all soundtracked by some brilliant songs.
Okay,
none of which
I have
can
done that, I have to
sadly
admit.
because YouTube won't.
It
like
ended
them,
up pretty
but trust
badly.
me, the playlist is incredible. I'll mention a couple later.
Fair.
No. No!
And music is kind of a big theme of Beethoven and Dinosaur's games.
Not
if
the
you
secret
played their
handshake.
debut, The Artful Escape, you'd know that it used psychedelic metaphor to tell a tale of self-expression. Mixtape, though, is far more grounded in its exploration of friendship and how those closest to us help us grow. It's a story that won't necessarily surprise, but will comfort, and is often hilarious. It's like those aimless afternoons you spend with friends without any specific goal for what the day had in store. But you'd always end up learning something new about them, whether they'd want to reveal it or not. Obviously, those unlocked memories aren't yours, they're Rockford's. But these memories are just...
Yes, of course, because every single millennial writer is just self-inserting themselves into video game because they want to relive a life that didn't exist for them back in the day. So now we have to suffer this garbage, of course. But to be fair, at least this is not in World of Warcraft. As of now. Hey, next expansion, who knows, maybe a mixtape collaboration?
so well observed that they come across as universal, as if they could be ripped straight from your teenage Facebook or MySpace page if you're getting on a bit like me. In many ways, it's best to treat
MySpace?
mixtape, well, like a mixtape, with no knowledge of where it will go next, beyond a trust placed in the creator. There's no interest in fail states or high score chasing here, instead prioritizing existing in...
Nobody did that. Like, who's doing that? I don't... listen, if you ever catch a kid doing this to your home, you should yeet them into a tree or something. Like, that is absolutely wild. I don't know if people are actually doing that. It's like, again, it's the most cliche things they could have ever taken from movies from the early 2000s. I don't think people actually done that. It's just like, there's a reason why people to this day, like, clown on these movies. They were corny. Some of them were good, by the way. Like, I love early stuff. But most of them were cliche.
And enjoying the moment. Its simple mechanics match its simpler times, with each twist aiming to elicit a fresh emotion through interactivity in a way that only video games can. That can be as simple as hitting a series of buttons to headbang in rhythm to Silverchair's Freak.
Shit, it's the cops. Reach up, it's Joe.
Wow, so scary.
Are they gone?
Or just having a good time designing your own slushies from a selection of flavours. Some though are a little more out there, such as the recollection of Rockford's First Kiss, where with each analog stick you control a tongue and awkwardly have to navigate a set of brace-filled teeth until mercifully a button pops up at the bottom that says, "That's enough." It's funny, it's gross, but you know, I pressed that button as soon as I could. Each memory sequence spawns from a keepsake found around the world that smartly serves as the key to unlocking cherished memories. In this regard, Mixtape is somewhat similar to What Remains of Edith Finch, although I'd never say it carries anywhere near the same amount of emotional weight as Giant Sparrow's masterpiece, instead sidelining deep-rooted familial trauma for a focus on
What the fuck? Yeah,
joy.
exactly.
Any
I don't know what
replay
I'm
value is found
watching.
in wanting to revisit these short pockets of fun. They won't change, nor will the relationships or conversations within them, but familiarity...
Bro, this isn't fun. You know what's fun? Picking up a stick from the ground that looks like a sword and hitting your homies in the head with it. That was fun. That was great. And trust me, there were plenty of things that I did with my cousins, which are the same age as I am, and I can't even tell them here, okay? But they were super fun. Like, they were great. I mean, not weird stuff. They're just like, we were a little bit, you know, a little bit of rascals. We broke some stuff. But, I mean, hey, you know what? The good old days. Whatever you doing here, for the most part, 90% of it didn't happen, except for this. Like, the shopping cart thing did happen to me. I did it, I fell. It didn't end up really well for me, but, like, I did it, right? I gotta admit, that part is true. But the rest, like, nobody actually behaved this way. It's just all nothing burger. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's a farce.
Is at the core of nostalgia, and I can see myself treating Mixtape like one of those comfort films you pop on every couple of years. You know what's going to happen, so the surprise factor is gone. But spending time with these characters whose lives are only a few hours long is still
Skipping
valuable.
rocks, wow.
That's probably why I've already played through its roughly 3-hour campaign 3 times already.
So
what
cool.
are we doing?
You know what's funny? I was skipping rocks with my cousins, and like one of my cousins, like the idiot, didn't see me while I was swimming in the water. I was trying to like grab a rock or something, and he actually skipped a rock on my head. That was the one and only time in my life I actually like opened my head, like literally here. I have a scar, but I have hairs covering it, thankfully. I'm not as bald now, otherwise you would have seen it. So yeah, fun times. Fun times.
Hanging out, getting buzzed.
I've got to get out of this place.
Yeah, it's not even a game. Of course it's not a game. It's a way for the creator and the writer of this story to self-insert themselves and embed themselves in your memory. Why? Because they are super delusional freaks that have nothing in life. They have no real friends. They never experienced any adversity whatsoever. I can already know, without even knowing who made this game, because I truly didn't hear anything about it, almost, except, you know, the fact it was trash. I can tell you, this is a reach tier kid. It's not a person like me. It's not a person like you who grew up in a very... Well, I didn't grow up in a really... Well, I grew up in a poor area, but I didn't feel poor, so it doesn't really matter. But it's not like us. This didn't came from the mind of a person who grew up in a mediocre household medium. Okay? It's not. This is a wealthy kid way of telling you, I'm here and I had difficult lives, even though this is a complete and utter joke.
Friends Slater and Cassandra are excellent foils to Rockford too, with an instant sense that these three have been a close-knit group instantly delivered via quick-hit, sarcasm-fueled jabs, and the sort of goofy noises spilling out of their mouths that only occur when you feel completely comfortable around someone. The writing and performances really do come across as just almost effortlessly natural, which is such a difficult thing to accomplish. Cassandra in particular has some standout scenes and ended up being my favourite of
It's
the
like
bunch,
all they
even
do
if
is
some
head
aspects of her
bobbing.
character change a little too abruptly to be 100% believable at certain parts in the story.
Sure.
I'm bored. I'm too young to be this bored. You want to get blackout drunk in a field?
Who talks like that? Dude, nobody speaks this way. Nobody that actually has a functioning frontal lobe actually speaks in that manner. If I told my father, oh, I'm too young to be bothered with that, bro, the slap that would have immediately came after that would send me 20 years into the future. Why in God's name am I watching this?
I can't.
But the star of the show arguably is the music. Rockford herself is an aspiring Hollywood music supervisor, and as such, pop songs from the early 90s and decades before propel much of the adventure. Big artists are here, but not always alongside their biggest hits. It's a nice touch, as if someone like Rockford, a music connoisseur who dreams of a profession centered on unearthing audio gold to match a mood, has curated the soundtrack. I particularly enjoy the way you can walk around and get her to comment and give analysis on some songs, like some sort of Patrick Bateman with far less violent intentions.
Portishead's debut album, Dummy. A must-have. Cinematic, ambitious, ahead
Yeah,
of
he's
its time.
praising the game so much it must
like
be
me.
good.
The
True.
opening skate to Devo's That's Good is the perfect high-energy pace setter, whereas the scuzzy Love by the Smashing Pumpkins provides a
Oh,
fantastic
shit, wait.
backdrop for
Explosion.
some explosive angst.
Wait,
And by the Smashing Pumpkins,
Wait, a person just died and like they don't care? Like what happened? Okay, maybe the car just derailed. Maybe it's okay. Maybe there wasn't someone inside.
provides a
But even then, like, isn't it like risky? Like, there could have been a kid out of frame. She's like, no, dude, ah! Like middle finger, like yeah.
fantastic backdrop for some explosive angst. I'm not sure I felt a game connects so intrinsically to its music in such a charming way since Simogo's Sayonara Wild Hearts, and I couldn't get enough. It consistently hits a delightful cross-section of games, music and movies. From Dazed and Confused to Ladybird,
Of course they hit the record store. Of course. Bro, if you ever see someone doing this in a store, I don't care how high he is, like it clearly isn't on something here, you immediately lock the doors and you go to town on him. I'm not even joking, okay? You handcuff him if you need to. I don't care. Like you get him arrested. That is all I'm saying. Okay? Enough. Why would you ever do that? I've worked retail for the entirety of my life. Well, until today. I mean, obviously I'm still working. I'm not making it as a full-time streamer yet. And I've never had someone doing this before. I had people doing some nasty stuff. Never this. I had people literally throwing goo on my shelves. But not this. Okay? And they were like literal toddlers that did that. Like a grown-ass teenager. If you're doing this, I'm sorry, bruh. You're getting jumped.
Without ever feeling like pastiches of them. Mixtape does this elegantly and with a genuine love for the genre its creators clearly hold close, as Beethoven and Dinosaur itself comes of age with its sophomore effort. But it isn't just tonally looking towards cinema. It plays with the form, in turn becoming a mixed media wonderland of a video game. There's the glorious, painstakingly handcrafted Spider-Verse-esque animation that enraptures at a glance, along with the use of grainy live-action stock footage, music video-like editing rhythms, and fun fourth-wall breaks. It's not afraid to experiment and nerd out when it comes to stamping different styles on different scenes, and is all the better for it, keeping things constantly fresh. Look, I was always going to be a mark for Mixtape. As a coming-of-age movie lover with an ear often lent to the guitar music of decades past, and someone who likes to indulge in the bittersweet sensation of melancholy, it's as if Beethoven and Dinosaur made this just for me. I mean, it even references David Shire's unused Apocalypse Now score in an early scene. I can't help but fear I've been actively spied on. But the beauty of Mixtape is that you don't need to be exactly the type of person it's for to get a lot out of it. Much like nostalgia, it brings out feelings you may have long forgotten, through faces and songs you may have never seen or heard before, but which bring familiar, faded emotions with them all the same.
I wanted the Nike shoes, but we were too poor, so I got like off-brand. Is this included inside of the game? Is that the feeling I was longing for when I was a kid? Or maybe, whenever I wanted like a PS3 and my mother told me to like, well, I can't say it here, but basically, she just told me, no. So we'll leave it at that. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, listen, for some reason, the guy in the video thinks that this game speaks for about the reality of all of us. It doesn't. Like, nobody actually grew up this way. This is a very rich suburban area. This is not how everyone grew up. I highly doubt 80% of people would actually manage to understand what the hell is going on. There is no feeling I was longing for here. Literally nothing. I had none of that. Literally none of that.
It reminds me of times I once enjoyed.
It's only 3 hours, so technically we can play it and refund it. It's a good point. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right about that.
Hindsight, wish I'd held dearer in the moment. It's a mistake I didn't let happen again with Mixtape, as I savored each and every minute, all the way to its final, powerful button press.
Oh, this section. This is what I'm talking about.
Nostalgia is a bittersweet feeling, but one we can't help but fall into the clutches of, whether by choice or not. It's a sensation immaculately captured by Mixtape, a soulful journey that creates new memories you felt like you've had for years at every turn. Each song choice is perfectly matched to the novel vignette it backs, delivering a new fleeting joy with every chapter as surprising gameplay twists are woven throughout its funny yet touching campaign. Yes. A musical delight from start.
The surprising gameplay twist is that her parents loved her all along and she just imagined everything up.
Start to finish, Mixtape
she just conjured it
for coming of age stories and video games, and does so with a masterful.
What? Yikes. Yeah, I heard the rumors, but I thought it was a joke. No, it's actually real. Holy. Bruh, no, just no. And that's exactly why I constantly say that IGN is bought and paid for. They gave Where Winds Meet a 6 and this a 10. Where Winds Meet, a game literally free to play masterpiece that you don't have to pay a dime for, while I have to pay for a 3-hour millennial slop at 10 out of 10. What in God's name is that garbage? What the hell is that? And how is the rest of the review? Oh, they're just gonna do an interview. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch that. I had enough. I don't care. I don't care about some balding dude telling me that this is a. What is that? Why is he smiling like that? Are they holding a guide point? What is that? I think poor guy. Holy, he looks under duress. Someone need to save him. I mean, how many of these guys trying it were just into clown on it? I think because the game is only 3 hours long, people just played it to make fun of it. I think they just wanted to squeeze out a video and call it a day. What do you mean 321 players? They gave it a 10 out of 10. I know. It's almost like IGN has no real pool whatsoever. It's like IGN has been reduced to nothing and lost all credibility. It's crazy, right? And to be fair, IGN has done a pretty great job doing so, like degrading itself, over the course of many years. I have to give them credit. I remember IGN was the go-to spot back in the day. It's crazy how many good shows they used to have, too. They used to have, like, really great shows. I mean, like, over a decade ago, if you remember these. There was, like, one gamer dating show that is so hilarious. I want to watch it with you guys one day, if you would like that. But it just goes to show, like, IGN used to be good. And I'm pretty sure it was, like, IGN, if I'm not mistaken about it. I'm pretty sure it's them. But nowadays, it's all gone. It's all slop. It's all lies. Whenever a game is good, they give it a bad scoring or mediocre at best. Whenever a game is trash, they give it a 10 out of 10. Like, even Dragon Age the Veilguard, which, let's see, how many, like, Dragon Age the Veilguard, let's see, how many it had? I mean, it did peak at quite a nice number, but it had a sharp-ass drop. Like, let's see. Right over the course of this. So, over a course of a month, and a 90% drop. It is a single-player game. Listen, I think for the most part, the name alone carried it. The name alone carried it because people really like the other parts. Not of this game, obviously the prequels. They really enjoyed them, so the name alone probably carried it, but it was so dumpster tier. And they gave it a 9, if I remember correctly. I mean, what's good about this? It's just a 3 hours long skateboard simulator. I'll just play Tony Hawk games if I want to do that. Well, never mind. At least I'm very glad we got to see IGN slop one more time, because you truly cannot spell ignorance without IGN in it.